this afternoon we have the family members as well as the funeral planning committee of the late Honorable Ishmael Ashitey, who has been a 3-term member of parliament for Tema East constituency. The delegation is led by no other person than Honorable Stanley Adjiri Blankson, who is a member of Council of State and the chairman of the funeral planning committee. Also in our midst is the former Attorney General, former Ghana Ambassador to Canada, His Excellency Honorable Joseph Nii Lantey. We also have in our midst the Deputy General Secretary of the ruling New Patriotic Party, Honorable Nii Lantey. We have the former Member of Parliament for Tema Central, who is currently the board chairman of TDC. And since I said TDC, I can see Nii Lantey is nodding his head. Honorable Kofi Brakun, who is also a close friend to Honorable Ashitey. We have the former Member of Parliament for Okankwe North, Honorable Fuseni Isa. Then we have the Regional Secretary of the party, because Honorable Ashitey was the immediate past Regional Chairman. Regional Secretary of the party, Daniel Odalai France, is also in our midst. And then myself, the former Member of Parliament for Ablekuma Central, also here. Then we have our sister Francisca Anyoko, who is a member of the committee. Mr. Speaker, I want to lead the floor to my brother, also Ebenezer Amma.
Then Asafache Oshoso, he is the Asafache of Amoko Chewe, the family from which our brother came from. And then we have Nomo Ashitey Komi, he's our chairman of the family. Then at the back, from my immediate left, we have Osmanu Ashitey. He's also a cousin of our brother who is just departed. And we have Auntie Kate, also a cousin. And then we have Solomon Nyamiche, also a cousin of the departed brother. And then we have Auntie Esi, who is also a cousin of the departed brother. Yes, after her is Mr. Oko Ashitey. Mr. Oko Ashitey is a brother, in fact, paternal brother of our departed brother. Then at the extreme left, at the back, is Mr. Osei Owusu. He's and also a cousin. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, the committee and the family also wrote to both minority and majority to inform them, because Honorable Ashitey was the immediate past regional minister, so he both worked with minority and majority as well. So this morning with our discussion, we're informed that both sides will join you so that we can just inform the House.
Let me say good afternoon to all of us here. As I have been introduced, I am the chairman of Ishmael Ashitey's funeral. We've already had the 7 days. Ashitey is a born-bred Gan. Normally, we Gans do not celebrate 1 week. We do ours in 3 successive days. We choose every 2 weeks another 2 weeks, another 2 weeks. But it dawned on us that I teamed up with a lot of accounts in Dema. So we had to give in, and I sent a message to them that the family had agreed for us to have 1 week. So I hurriedly went to His Excellency the President, explained the whole thing to him, and he really agreed for the 1 week. I was going to insist on Ishmael being laid in state at the State House. President said, Adjiri Ashitey is a born-bred Dema man. He's lived his life in Dema. He's worked for the party in Dema. And so we should give him the honor by having every function made in Dema. Hence, his endorsement of the 1 week, which passed last week. Now, he has also agreed that we should have the funeral on the 7th of March, 7th of March, which would be a holiday. In fact, he had to go through his diary to endorse the 1 week, which we had on the 9th of February. I think it was one of the most successful gathering we've ever had. And I want to thank those of your colleagues who found time to join us to celebrate the 1 week. His Excellency the President chose 7th of March for the simple reason that 6th March will be our Independence Day, and for sure 7th would be a holiday. And since it is his intention to be at the function, he was appealing to me to let the family and all those involved know that 7th March will be very appropriate for my own son, Nii Lantey Vanderpuye. Of course, in Bini. Yeah. And so we had to go round quickly to inform those who matter that the funeral will be on the 7th of March. So we had to gather ourselves and go round. We've started only today. We've been to 3 places. We went first to the Vice President. He's also so happy about the timing. From there, we went to see the Regional Minister. The regional minister should have taken over what I am doing, but a few events have occurred in Accra, and he thought he should stay by and assume leadership for those exercises. And from there, we traveled to the Grassy Lodge. We went to see our father, Kufo. Kufo was so delighted, and he gave us a history. And he made all of them to know that in the good old days, such meetings were being held in my house. And he had been coming to my house. That was when they knew that I'm not, they are equal, small boys and girls. Yeah. And so we had a lot of advice from And although he's wheelchaired now, it is his wish that whatever takes him, he should be at the funeral. From there, we tried to get here early. Traffic around there has been so heavy, even with our sirens and whatnot. We had to circumvent issues to be able to get here early, because we were told that Nii Lantey Vanderpuye is getting angrier. So, Honorable Speaker, we've finally gotten here to announce to you, and for the information of the entire Parliament, that Honorable Ishmael Ashitey will be buried on the 7th of March, as the family had requested. That is why you see us here, to announce to you formally that your own colleague, I don't know how you're going to go by it, but having informed you, and I'm sure others who are not here will know that one of your colleagues is gone. So, Right Honorable Speaker, tradition demands that we should not just come and inform you and go back. We are carrying with us 6 bottles of alcohol, 2 for the minority, 2 for the majority, and 2 for the Speaker and his team. Can you, and then, did we add the envelope too? Yes. Okay. Can you please come back, come round? We have here Schnapps 1, Castle Bridge 1, Schnapps 1, Castle Bridge 1, Schnapps 1, and Castle Bridge 1. People to various majorities plus this heavy envy. And now, as we dance, was never what Danny get war. A long way.
Oh, you are down.
Right Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the Minority Caucus, and on my own behalf as the chairman of the Greater Accra Caucus of the minority, I wish to thank my uncle and father, Honorable Stanley Adjiri Blankson, the members of the funeral committee, and also the family of our departed senior colleague, friend, and uncle, Ishmael Ashitey. I would say he's one of the few people who will not look at you with a political eye when he meets you. He first will look at you, meet you, talk to you as a human being, and then if he had to probe further, to know which part of the country you come from. One thing I've admired most about him is the fact that he has never spoken English with me wherever we have met. He tries to speak our language with me, and I feel so proud of him, that he is so proud of his background as a Ghana Adangbe. His departure, definitely, as a politician, as an NDC person, I will be so happy that you lost such a great man, because it means that it will affect your organization a bit, because he's a great organizer. I'm not saying this because I know what he meant for the MPP as a party, and I know what he meant for people like us who were looking up to him in our political journey. I'm happy. I had a little discussion with my colleague, the current MP for Tema East, who is here with me, Ashai Odamtten, and he had no negative thing to say about our departed uncle. He, in fact, the things he told me about him, I was happy there was no MPP person standing by, because they would have wondered whether he was talking about an MPP person or talking about an NDC person. And that's something that I will want, especially us in the region, to take from this. I'm happy the current regional minister is continuing with that attitude and character. We can only build Accra when we put behind us our political colors, because the work in Accra is bigger than one person. And I'm happy my uncle started it. Ni Laya Foteagokim could continue. Our departed uncle also took over, and Henry is continuing. If this tradition that we set us for ourselves of bridging the political gap in the region and seeing ourselves first as people God has blessed and given the opportunity to serve our people in the region and help the region to grow, it will help us. Many other regions, togetherness and unity is what is making them develop. So I'm happy we have been invited here, and I wish to pledge that our caucus, especially the Greater Accra Caucus, will always avail ourselves to the committee and to the family in every way in planning and organizing this funeral. Kenya Chewa Lebi Shande Beke Nyom Manken Waba Kunu Wong Nile Fil Nymoke Hawo Ewale Fil Nymoke Hawo Wong Wako Tako Abafinyo Nona Ni Wanya Wako Papa Se Ojogwa Esamokoni Ako Ese Ojogwa Ne Sanu Wafen Wafio Kome Ni Wafun Nana Ke Wafun Wakane Yalane Bafe politics ni ebagla wo mi eko aje no tuma ko nshi lenche ekehe wo mi ojogba ne yi regional minister be ko be ni ke no ko ngbanna ni machele ni ebake make bawo kenkele we no within an hour or two konyo ba mafe kemgbe na mani ashimashi atwabo de fi ohun e wo meda nya fe nshi makwa fai nya fe committee mom shi mabi ke ba hie ni inyamino ni ashai ni ba chele afitahi ko ni gbeja no to efe ele no ni ya no ko le we nya ke wo e brief wo kuni wonye wasa wo he ni wakanya fe anye gbakome no eba wa mi shinke eba fe tumo aba fe don aba bo amane keneke be pie na jin eba ya shibo chiko na nye mi ye leka afa bo ba afa kwa nye se the man no fe no. Mr. Speaker, what I've said in short in our language is that I'm pleading that in order to continue with the sort of relationship we built in Greater Accra, that we are working today without any political colors. I wish that my colleague Honorable Ashai will be drafted into the funeral committee to represent our side so that any plan that will be taken, he will readily be available to inform us so we can also support to give our departed former regional minister and former MP the befitting burial. I thank you so much, and we wish the family and wish the committee the best. And it's our wish and prayer that this funeral will be the beginning of the united Ga Adangbe.
Available leader and members of the funeral committee, on behalf of the majority caucus, I hereby express condolences to you. You've lost a great personality, and the whole of Ghana knows of his work. A Freemason will say that when a man rises by merit to eminence, he lives respected and dies regretted. It's quite obvious that he, having risen by merit through a parliamentary career, ministerial career, partisan political career, we all cherished his industry. And today, as he's joined his maker above and has joined the parliament above and is doing greater regional ministerial work above, we all regret his exit. And it's quite obvious from our posture. I would want to, at the risk of being repetitive, reiterate a point made by the available leader from the minority caucus, that at a time like this, we need unity to plan. We should not be seen to be working at cross purpose. We should all put our heads together, and even as we want to make it great, we listen to the views of people so that we get the good results that we all expect. I can assure the committee, chaired by the respected Stanley Adjiri Blankson, our own grandpa, that the majority caucus will be fully represented. We will make our presence felt, and the appropriate contributions will also be made. This is one of our own, and he's made it for the party, he's made it for the caucus, and he would so be remembered for what he did. I would want to end here by again saying that we are with you in this period of mourning. It is not only your loss, it is ours too. And I will look forward to giving him a befitting burial. What do we say in Ghana? No, that's not the one I want to say. I want to say go, yeah? Yeah, you know, few. In Ghana, more, it's the Kanishi one, yeah? You know, Kanishi guy go. That one is mixed. It's not, you know, they're the fancy type. Yeah, that's where you mix it, and
as if you are speaking English, you know, two of you, okay, me. I know. Or when you meet the Gans, you don't attempt to speak Gan. Yes, sir. So, Mr. Chair and Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Now the ball is in your court, sir.
Honorable Member of the Council of State, Your Excellency, this is a sad moment, but I'm also excited to see my very senior colleagues here and what age is doing to all of us, including my former colleague Kofi and others who, Fuseni, we have had a long chat while we're waiting for you to come. The Honorable Ashitey's demise was so sudden. I had observed flyers announcing that he was going to contest as the national chairman. Then suddenly, I see a replacement of the flyers that sad news. Honorable Ashitey has passed. It was so sudden. So on behalf of Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Parliament of Ghana, we wish our sincerest condolences to the family and to all of us. We know from practice here that when a former member dies, Parliament participates in the funeral fully. And in this case, Honorable Ashitey never really ceased to be a member. Because whilst he was the regional minister, he was fully in touch with members, particularly those of us in the majority side. And we used to visit his house very often.
What a famous
We used to visit his house very often. It can be said of him that he was not given to being loud, but he was very firm. And that's what I loved about him. Calm but firm. That is a man we are planning to bury. My prayer is that the family will be consoled and that in all this we will learn the lessons that he has left for us and we will continue with the good things he did. So on behalf of Mr. Speaker, once again, my condolences, and be assured that the drinks will be given to the respective sides of the House and Mr. Speaker to formally announce his demise and the funeral arrangement. Once again, you're welcome to Parliament.